Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There's a cloud of suspicion over the laddus that were offered to Lord Venkateshwara, the residing deity of the seven hills at the Tirumala Tirupati temple, a matter that has now become a full-blown political war. A day after Andhra Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu alleged the use of animal fat in the laddu prasadam that is made at the Tirumala shrine, holding the erstwhile YSRCP government and former Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy responsible for hurting the sentiments of lakhs of devotees. Jagan Mohan Reddy today accused Chief Minister and Chandrababu Naidu of making allegations, calling them wild and malicious. He said that Chandrababu Naidu was trying to divert the attention of people from his alleged failure of fulfilling poll promises. YSRCP has demanded a judicial inquiry into the allegations, and the former CM has also said that he will write to the Prime Minister and Chief Justice regarding this issue. But the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam Board, which is the body managing the temple's affairs, has come out in support of Chandrababu Naidu, and it has said that the ghee suppliers took advantage of the lack of in-house adulteration testing facility as well as not using outside facilities. Now, TTD Executive Officer Shamala Rao has said that lab tests had revealed the presence of animal fat and lard in chosen samples. Now, the Andhra High Court has also agreed to hear a petition filed by senior YSRCP leader YV Subba Reddy over this ongoing controversy. Now, the centre too has intervened. Union Health Minister JP Nadda has said that he has sought a full report on this issue and that his government will also be examining this matter and taking suitable action. Well, many developments there will try and make sense of all of these accusations and counter-accusations. But the larger question we ask, of course, is who is at fault here? Should there be a larger probe of this, or should there be more sensitivity in dealing with matters of faith? That's all what we'll ask. We'll be joined by a group of experts. But first, here's a report on what really happened.
The Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam CEO has confirmed that the National Dairy Development Board's calf lab in Gujarat had found the presence of animal fat, including fish oil, beef tallow, lard, that is a pig fat derivative, in the cow ghee samples meant for use in Tirupati Laddu and sent for suspected adulteration testing in July.
The reports unfortunately didn't come clear, then we rejected, we sent away. And then we stopped from that supplier.
Former Chief Minister and YSRCP leader YS Jagan Mohan Reddy called it a diversionary tactic and said every cow ghee tanker that enters Tirumala comes with a certification of 3 mandatory tests issued by the National Accreditation Board for Laboratories.
To divert people's attention from this act of his. He had stooped down to the extent of tarnishing the image and reputation of our temple.
The centre has also sought a report from the state government.
उस रिपोर्ट है जिस स्टोर से आई है उस रिपोर्ट को पूरी तहकीकात करके उसके सारे पहलुओं पर ध्यान करके सूटेबल एक्शन विल बी टेकन अकॉर्डिंगली जो भी कानून के दायरे में और जो भी हमारी नियमावली फूड सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया के तहत आती है उसके तहत हम इस पर कार्रवाई।
हम सब जो भक्त हैं भगवान तिरुपति के, सबकी आस्था के साथ खिलवाड़ हुआ है। जो दोषी है उसको कड़ी से कड़ी और तुरंत सजा मिलनी चाहिए। इसको फास्ट ट्रैक पे आपको इसकी जांच करनी पड़ेगी, करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि करोड़ों लोगों का, हम सबकी आस्था का इसमें सवाल है।
On Wednesday, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu had mentioned that adulterated poor quality items were used to prepare food items in Tirumala and said he was pained that the cow ghee had contained animal fat. He said adulterated ghee was used because it was cheap.
We have to dig deep and we have to find out where anything has happened, and if it has happened, where the system was a failure. So we have to correct it, and we have to see that these kind of incidents, if it has happened, should not be repeated.
After the controversy over the sanctity of the Tirupati Laddu being violated, Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan has sought the formation of a Sanatana Dharma Parirakshana Parishad that would oversee matters related to Hindu religion.
It is directly hurting the sentiments of crores of people like us.
Tamil Nadu's Dindigal-based AR Dairy, that was blacklisted, says they were certified for quality and there were no deviations. The price of cow ghee in the market in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka hovers around 700 rupees per kg, whereas the price quoted by TTD is 320 rupees per kg. That has now been hiked to up to 500 rupees.
Best cow ghee today cannot be less than 1000 rupees per kg. How can a person quote 320 rupees? If somebody is quoting 320 rupees, I am not going exact amount value, but if he is quoting 320 rupees, every packet of that might be containing adulterated ghee.
Political storm over a laddu. But this is no ordinary laddu. This is the Tirupati laddu that is much revered and loved as well. Interestingly, the executive officer of TTD has clarified that cow ghee was never sent for testing in the past. But now they are going to get a 75 lakh rupees equipment from the NDDB lab in order to be able to test the quality of cow ghee to be used for the Tirupati laddu. With camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV. So, how is cow ghee procured by the TTD? The TTD goes for an online auction, which is called an e-auction or an online tendering process. This is a process that has been started since 2022 when they moved from physical tenders to online tenders in order to reduce human interference and bring in more transparency in the process of e-auctions. The TTD requires 61.5 lakh tons of cow ghee every single year, and e-auctions happen every 6 months. Based on technical factors as well as financial factors, the vendors are selected and they supply the cow ghee in the tankers. The tankers come with certification, NABL certification after 3 mandatory tests. The ghee at Tirumala has never been tested internally within the TTD because they have never had the apparatus for it. They have never sent it out for testing either. And now the TTD has procured the equipment worth about 75 lakh rupees from the NDDB, and from now on they intend to test the cow ghee for its adulteration.
Okay, joining us now is T.S. Sudhi, senior journalist. We have Chunduru Sundarram Sharma, who is the national spokesperson YSRCP. We also have Professor Jyotsna Tirunagari, who is the spokesperson of the TDP. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. To you, Mr. Sharma, there are 1 lakh people who visit, devotees who visit Tirumala Tirupati every day, and there are at least 3.5 lakh laddus, Shrivari laddus that are distributed every day. So clearly this is an emotive subject for not just Telugus, the whole of South India, actually the whole of India. Could the YSRCP government and and also the Devasthanam board, because many of them are also political appointees, shouldn't your government have been more careful about these matters of faith, because clearly something like this is bound to escalate?
See, first, today the government is Mr. Chandrababu Naidu's government, not Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy's government, number one. Number two, the report, the test report is the last 3 months, last 2 months back, they have sent it to NDDB. That is in the month of July. They have sent samples, and on 23/7/2024, they received the report from the NDDB. Here, there is a very clear some political motivation or conspiracy, political conspiracy is this NDDB report released in TDP office, not in TTD office. I think that Mr. Chandrababu Naidu or TDP are there thinking TTD and TDP is the same. But this report is released on the 100th day of Chandrababu's completion of the tenure, completion of his period. They released it in TTD office. TDP office.
But sir, NDDB is an independent body. Are you alleging that there is actually, there's a tie-up, there's an alliance of sorts amongst all institutions which are run in BJP-ruled states? That's not possible, isn't it?
See, first of all, if, there is no doubt that TTD is an independent one. There is no doubt at all. But who has to release this report? TTD, EVO, has to release the report. But in TDP, Telugu Desam Party office, TDP office, they released it on that day. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu immediately, he given the comment or allegations in his legislature party. That is the reason we are telling this is completely a political conspiracy, number one. Number two, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, if he is really a very serious Hindu citizen or a serious Hindu devotee, for the last 2 months, what he was doing, why he has not revealed this report to the people? What action he has taken against the culprits? Nothing. And today only the EO has come out and said that there was a report and we have just there is some vegetable fat and animal fat like that. But 3 days back, he told that we have sent some report in that some dalda, vanaspati like vegetable fat was there. Why this conflict, this one from the EO? Number 3.
Okay.
Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, if he's really serious about this Hindu dharma, and if he wanted to, if he is really a respectable and a highly, this one for the chief minister,
right,
he must take the action against the culprits immediately.
Okay.
And another thing, it is an insult to the TTD employees, TTD priests, TTD that is called POTU, where the laddus will be manufactured. So, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu has not taken anything into directly from the employees or EO, any information, just simply to divert the politics of 100 days is failure, just the attention of the peoples, he just made an irresponsible, immature comment.
Let me get Professor Jyotsna. Professor Jyotsna, ever since Chandrababu Naidu made these comments, there has been a sense of panic and alarm. I have relatives calling, talking about this. Do you think that there could have been a probe into this matter before these allegations were made? Because clearly we don't know the scale of it, how many laddus really had animal fat, because there's one vendor clearly who is, under spotlight, but how many of these vendors actually used adulterated ghee? We don't know that yet.
Vasudha, as you said, it's just not probably one or two or one of isolated incidents or isolated people group that you're talking about. Entire world, we have almost crores of devotees for Lord Balaji, and definitely all of us, including me, are worried about it. We are emotionally attached to Bhagwan Balaji. So definitely we are all concerned about it, worried about it. The point here is, this was the main reason also. See, a couple of questions that Sharma Garu has asked. I, in fact, in another channel also, I told him the same thing, but again, I'll reiterate. The point is, when our government came into power, immediately the cleansing of the state started from Tirumala, where vigilance inquiries were held. During one of those inquiries, the EO identified that the quality of laddu is constantly is a question mark, because people have been complaining of it years together, almost 2 to 3 years they have been constantly complaining on it. So then they identified isme kya ho sakta hai, what could be the problem. During that time they identified that the ingredients, the raw materials are being, there could be some mischief somewhere happening in the raw materials. That's when they identified that pure cow ghee, which is not available at a rate probably less than somewhere around 600 or something like that. People are quoting almost 1,000. How could someone get it for 319 or 320? And again, during this process, as in your initial remarks, I think Uma Sudhir ji very categorically has stated about the online tenders and all, which they have introduced in 2022. But the tenders were cost-based ones. They were not quality-based ones. That was the main problem. And one more thing is, during this entire episode, there is a lot of sentiment attached to it. There is a lot of emotionality attached to it. During the initial time, when this was, found out, immediately, what the EO and the concerned people there have done is they have immediately blacklisted this particular supplier, and they have put they have seized all the remaining stock from that supplier.
Right.
First thing, that's very important, because उस दिन के बाद आज तक कोई भी लड्डू में किसी किस्म का adulteration नहीं हुआ है, because after that the Nandini ghee has been taken up. And here Here, my question is that the one of the defense that those from YSRCP they are taking is
Right.
Hamare time. I mean, during our time also we had certain checks and measures during which almost 18 times we have rejected this stock, or what they have been telling that. My question to them is, did you really test these samples? If yes, if a particular supplier was sent, because according to them,
Right.
according to the president of Jagan Mohan Reddy, he was talking about substandard raw material.
Right.
But here it is a clear, this particular report talks about clear adulterated samples.
Okay.
Adulterated with animal fat.
Okay.
So was it the same? If yes, why didn't they notice it then? Why did they safeguard the
Okay.
culprits?
That's an important point. Yes, Sudhir, technical details aside, tell me what is going to be the political fallout of this? Because, when I talk to the TDP guys, they tell me that, when they could spend so much on egg puffs, they were not willing to spend on cow ghee. There is, JSP's Pawan Kalyan asking for a Sanatan Dharma Parirakshana board. So clearly, the Hindu sentiment has come about. Chandrababu Naidu himself is talking about this. What do you see the political fallout of this? How much of this is going to impact Jagan's standing as a politician in Andhra?
Well, I think over the past many years, the Telugu Desam, as the main rival to the YSR Congress, has not spared any effort to paint Jagan Mohan Reddy in anti-Hindu colors. I think that's an open secret out there. And obviously, the fact that this has become a very political issue is obvious from the fact that we have the two principal parties' representatives on your show. Obviously, now the YSRCP finds itself on the back foot, because the allegation is that it is during their regime of 5 years that this kind of something wrong was committed, and therefore the YSRCP has to come clean. Y.V. Subba Reddy was the first one to react because he was there as the TTD chairperson for most part of the last 5 years. The main thing to know out here is that if something wrong had happened, whether any supplier was indeed blacklisted by the TTD over the last 5 years between 2019 and 2024. Because while the politics of it is definitely going to play out, that's pretty much for sure. But as a devout Hindu, what I am concerned more about is the fact is that whether the laddus that were being consumed, which were being bought from the TTD counters at Tirumala, were they completely okay, or whether they were adulterated with any other kind of foreign fat material or not. And that's what a Hindu, a devout Hindu would really be interested in knowing. Right. Also, the fact that we cannot really ignore the NDDB lab report. It's a prestigious lab. So what now the investigation authority, whoever carries out the investigation, will really need to do is to probably get it cross-checked, verified with two other labs of similar repute, and then lay to rest for once and for all whether something hanky-panky really was taking place. On paper, yes, on paper, there is this entire stipulation that every tanker of ghee that comes into Tirumala needs to be verified. It has to have that NABL registration. It has to be verified. But whether that was really done in letter and spirit is the thing that needs to be found out. The YSRCP spokesperson saying that, it's an insult to all the people who work in the kitchens and who are involved in the entire administration is well taken. But the point largely also is that at the end of the day, we need to bother about the devotees who come to Tirumala in large numbers, get these laddus, and the laddu is not just another ordinary laddu. There is a lot of sanctity and reverence attached to the laddu, so we cannot really treat it as just another laddu. So obviously, this is an important issue for all the Hindu devotees across the globe, and the sooner an investigation is set up, which goes into every single detail, what happened since 2019 or probably even beyond that, that will satisfy all Hindu devotees across the globe.
Right, that's well said. Mr. Sharma, if you look at the tender document for ghee procurement, I was looking at it a short while ago, and it clearly says that TTD is entitled to send samples for testing to an external laboratory, and something that the previous government did not, do anything to enforce this clause, and therefore, in some ways, the substandard material could also have been procured. Isn't it a good thing that the new government that has been sworn in, this clause has been properly enforced, and this adulteration has been detected? Isn't that a good thing?
See, actually, even in 2014 to 19, in Chandrababu's rule, that time also actually they sent back almost 15 times this type of adulteration or whatever reasons. They sent back the goods like a ghee or some ingredients. They sent back 15 times in his tenure also. In our tenure also, 18 times we sent back if it is not tallied with the report and all this. It is a continuous process. Nobody is actually question about this one. If the goods or a ghee or ingredients are not tallying with the report, immediately the TTD officers or TTD people who are responsible for that, they used to send back. That is happened even in 2014 to 19 and again 19 to 24. There is nothing wrong in that. There is no new in that. Only thing is, this time, what Mr. Chandrababu Naidu did is, same happened of AR firm. Now, if you see, last 3-4 days, they started that we have given that tenders to the North India or some companies. Why they have given like that? But today, they said that AR firm of Tamil Nadu, they have sent 3 containers or 4 containers. We sent it to NDDB. The report is this one. So, we sent back. Naturally, that is the same. The same thing, Mr. Chandrababu, what he did is, he wanted to use it as a political weapon. Because that report is released in Telugu Desam Party office, not in the TTD office.
Professor Jyotsna,
One minute. My friend told me, my friend is telling about the rate. See, I wanted to tell you one thing. If you go to Amazon or this one, the ghee, heritage ghee, this is the heritage ghee, I don't know whether it is only 619 rupees only. Why? 619 rupees to the retailer. If you go to the directly in this one, it's definitely 350 or 400 rupees below only. See, what is the wrong in that? And another thing, they are talking about Nandini, Karnataka, this one, Federation, why you have not given? Mr. Chandrababu has never given between 2014 or 15 to 19. He has not given any tender to them. Why? See, this is all political. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu is
Professor Jyotsna, would you like to? Yes, let her respond, yeah.
See, the point is, they are making it political. We are very clearly, if we wanted to make it political, we could have done it when the entire thing came out. No, the point is, we are slowly taking it up because we have to deal with crores of devotees' sentiments. We are very concerned about that. We are, honestly. And again, coming back to the Nandini ghee and the AR thing that they are talking about. My question is, our concern was also the same, saying that when a firm was supplying, why did you change the firm? Because this particular, we are talking about pure ghee, pure cow ghee. And the AR firm that they have taken, they are traders. And KMF, that is the Karnataka Milk Federation, is a society, cooperative society.
Right.
And if I am not wrong, Vasudha, only you get pure cow ghee of this standard that we supply to, the Tirumala, and the quantity, almost 13 to 15,000 kgs per day is the requirement. जो वो कर सकते हैं, one is from Punjab, the other one is from Karnataka, and you have little lots doing it from
Okay, let me take the last word from Mr. Sudhir. Mr. Sudhir, this whole controversy has also in some ways impacted or hurt brand Tirupati. We have had facilitation centers, Kalyana Mandapam, so many things associated with the Devasthanam board. What are the ways in which this there could be reassuring message sent out to people that there could be some reform, or in the sense things can be corrected? What should the state government be doing right now?
Well, it's important to know what the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, who made this disclosure earlier this week, did from July 23 when he got the report till now. I would assume that some steps would have been taken. Yes, an efficient officer like Shyamala Rao was appointed as the TTD executive officer. But what is also important is the composition of the TTD board, which has not been done as yet, even though 100 days have passed. The kind of people who are appointed to the board is going to be extremely crucial now, because people will be looking at each one of them, put them under the microscope, because the people of credibility are required in the Tirupati Devasthanam board right now. Also, the devotees need to be assured that the quality of the laddu and any other prasadam is of absolutely immaculate quality, because something like this, what has come out in the NDDB report, would obviously be found unacceptable, which no devout Hindu is going to like it, and obviously take huge objection to it. So as soon as possible, a detailed inquiry, try and find out what happened, whether there was any kind of malified intention or whether there was a case of negligence. That has to be settled once and for all, and accountability fixed on whoever was responsible for making each and every item that gets into Tirumala.
Okay. Thank you so much, all three of you, for joining me on this broadcast. And like Mr. Sudhir said, a detailed probe seems to be the only way forward, even as the controversy over preparation of Tirupati laddus snowballs escalates. We'll keep tracking that and more for you. But more news and updates on the other side.